Good afternoon and welcome into Bellingham, Washington. Game 3 of 3 between your Bellingham Bells and the Kamloops NorthPaws here on our Father's Day at Joe Martin Field, a special day. Down on the field, we've got 8 players along with their dads ready to throw out the first pitch. That's fun. Players with their dads here: Cal Young, Matt Churchill, Bryce Johnson, Jordan Chancellor, Noah Cassie, Everett Swaim, Silas Stenderson, and Charlie Decker down there ready for a special moment. It's always fun when your dad gets to throw out the first pitch. My dad got to do that last year during the playoff run for the Bells. He tossed it in Game 3 of the Apple Sox and Bells series here at Joe Martin Field. So some memories being made here for all these dads and players. But we've also got a baseball game to play and hopefully some entertaining baseball coming for you here on an afternoon in the West Coast League. 2 North Division squads, the Bellingham Bells and Kamloops NorthPaws. Right now, the Bells on fire. Bellingham has won 6 straight games. The Bells have won 6 straight, including the last 2 here against Kamloops. It was an 8-3 win on Friday that got the series started, and an 8-2 win in last night's game. The Bells now, during this 6-game stretch of only winning baseball, have been offensively dominant. If you look at the last 6 games, the 1 win versus Portland, the 3 versus Port Angeles, the 2 these last 2 days against Kamloops, the Bells have had 8 or more runs in each of their last 6 wins, and they're outscoring their opponents in that span 60-20. 60-20. I mean, the offense has really put it together these last couple of weeks, and the pitching right behind them, only allowing 20 runs in those 6 games. It's been quality. That's just barely over 3 runs a game. Bellingham does still sit 1 game behind of Wenatchee, needing 2 games to overtake them for the WCL North lead, and we're coming down to the first half finish here at Joe Martin Field, meaning that there's going to be a first half champion who gets an auto playoff berth. Right now it's the Apple Sox controlling that. The Bells a game back, but they need to make up 2 games because a tiebreaker for the first half standings is head-to-head. That's the first tiebreaker, and the Bells lost their series to the Apple Sox earlier this year. So Wenatchee has that up on us. We got to get some help from the other teams around the WCL. The Bellingham Bells have 1 game here against the Kamloops NorthPaws, and then are going to be on. They're going to be still here at home against the Port Angeles Lefties, and then they'll be on the road facing the Victoria Harbor Cats. And that Harbor Cats series is the final of the first half of the season. So we'll know by the end of June whether or not, hey, we're headed to the playoffs guaranteed, or if Wenatchee maybe falls down. We've got to get some help. The Apple Sox play the Nanaimo Night Owls today, and then they have a series against Walla Walla and Yakima due up for them. So 2 South Division teams that can help us out up north, and we're definitely hoping that we can get some help from them, right? It's always great to claim that early playoff spot, and I guess we'll see. But hey, 14-6 the Bells are. It's been a great start to the season. They've only lost 1 series all year. They've won 6 out of their 7. Last 5 series in a row they have won, and on a 6-game winning streak. It's the Kamloops NorthPaws on the other side of that, trying to snap their little dry spell here. 7-10 now after back-to-back losses, and it came after going 5-1 in their last 6 games before heading here to Bellingham. NorthPaws didn't play any WCL games earlier this week, Tuesday through Thursday, and so far over the weekend, 0-2 here in Bellingham. We'll see how they bounce back in today's game. It is Q Lumsden going for the NorthPaws. Lumsden, a freshman from Vernon Junior College, a teammate of Jorge Oliveira's there for the Bellingham Bells, and also a teammate of Evan Dugdale, the Kamloops NorthPaws center fielder for today's game. He'll be dueling against Cedric Henderson, who last time we saw him, his very first batter gave up a home run, a 3-run homer, but Henderson looked really good aside from that as he kind of settled into his Bellingham Bells debut. So definitely excited to see him going here on a Father's Day as the Bells will try and get a win. This is Game 3 of 6 straight at home. Tomorrow the Bells have off. WCL takes Mondays off, usually have Mondays off, unless the game needs to be rescheduled or there's a non-league game scheduled there. But Monday's usually off. It's similar to the minor league setup where there's a dedicated day off during your game weeks. And that's because that's what this league is for, prepping these guys for the next step. That's why we have a pitch clock. That's why we have certain things. That's why we're implementing the first base bag, because it's the same as it's in college. We're having the pitch clock because at the next level you're going to be having, to pitch quickly. I mean, you obviously see what happens in the big leagues with some of the guys that weren't used to pitch clocks and had to get used to it. A lot of pitchers changed when that got implemented. So for these guys, just developing, the best thing for them is, hey, let's get a wood bat in your hand. That's what you're going to be swinging at the next level. Pitchers, let's time you. Let's make sure you're coming home easy and quick. It's a developmental league at its heart, and the West Coast League is a fun league. It's been a fun start to the summer. Can't believe it's already flying by. I mean, 20 games for the Bells into their summer. Of course, league play 54 games, so still plenty of way to go, but it surely felt like we started this season, just a couple weeks ago. But, we're nearing the end of June, and it's been a good start for Bellingham. Hopefully they can keep it rolling. And today, a chance to do that. Looking for 2 straight sweeps. Bells picked up their first sweep of the season against Port Angeles on the road the last time they were on the road before coming here at home. And now they'll look for a sweep today. 1:35 is our first pitch on Father's Day. Kamloops NorthPaws, Bellingham Bells, head-to-head in 3 of 3 between the North Division foes. We'll get your starting lineups when we return.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Back at Joe Martin Field on this Father's Day afternoon, Bellingham Bells and Kamloops NorthPaws set for a game at 1:35. Let's look at the starting lineups for these two teams in the West Coast League. Leading off for the visiting Kamloops NorthPaws. First time we're looking at Camden Sanders as he leads off as the left fielder. Evan Dugdale is going to play center field and bat second. That's because Cade Crawford is doing the DHing right behind him in the 3 spot. Tate Martin back in the lineup. He's cleaning up at first base. Logan Booth starts in right field in the 5 spot. Ian Huang moves to second base for today's game. Behind him batting is Keegan Drinkle, the man who launched a home run back on Friday. He'll be the catcher, and following him is the shortstop Anthony Sedicassi, batting 8th in the NorthPaws lineup. Dylan Decker, the third baseman, who we saw in relief on the mound, gets the start at third and rounds out the order for the NorthPaws. It's Q Lumsden taking the ball for the NorthPaws on the hill. He'll face the Bells batting lineup that is led off by Jaden Jackson, the left fielder. Jake Lyle is going to DH and bat second. Nate Johnson bats third and starts at third. Matt Churchill is cleaning up. He'll be the first baseman in today's game. Bryce Johnson starting in right field behind him. Dylan Moss back to a familiar spot at catcher, batting 6th. Aspen Alexander follows him in center field. KG Hattori, the shortstop, bats 8th, and then Rashad Hayes, the second baseman, behind him. It's Cedric Henderson for the Bellingham Bells, an incoming freshman for UCLA, getting the start here against the Kamloops NorthPaws as Bellingham looks for a series sweep over the Kamloops NorthPaws after taking an 8-3 win on Friday and an 8-2 win last night. Bells have been dominant. The offense has been rolling, and so far off to a good start early in this West Coast League season. Kamloops 7-10, trying to bounce back after a couple of losses. NorthPaws still searching for their first ever winning season in the WCL. 25-29 last year, 7-10 right now And they're going against the juggernaut, the reigning West Coast League champion Bellingham Bells, who are 14-6 after last season going 33-21 and taking that WCL title. NorthPaws got a chance to get the getaway game before a day off tomorrow for both teams. But this is Game 3 of a 6-game homestand. Bells partying on Father's Day as they'll take the field. We'll get on our national anthems underway, and then when we return, first pitch here at the ballpark.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store, where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells! Ready for action in Bellingham. Kamloops and the Bells going head-to-head for the third game of their three-game series here. The Bells hunting a sweep over the NorthPaws, entering this game at 14-6, second in the West Coast League's North Division. The Kamloops NorthPaws 7-10, trying to snap a two-game slide as Cedric Henderson takes the bump for the Bellingham Bells. The starting pitcher today is headed to UCLA for the fall. He just spent his senior season with Berkeley High School in Richmond, California, and he throws gas, the second fastest fastball at the Perfect Game Sunshine Northern California Showcase, and we've seen it so far in a Bells uniform. One appearance for Henderson this summer, but it was impressive. After giving up a home run against his first batter that he faced, he went the next 4 innings without allowing a run or a hit or a walk. He was perfect through the last 4 in his debut. Finished his 4 1/3 inning outing with 6 strikeouts, as he now takes over for his first career start as a Bellingham Bell, wearing the number 24 in those all-white uniforms that the Bells got on today. Bells wearing the navy blue caps on all navy blue. They're not their half-piped ones with white and navy blue. They're wearing the all dark blue and the typical white jerseys. They were in the baby blues last night. Kamloops NorthPaws will be in their red uniforms once again with gray bottoms and black caps with red bills here for our Father's Day ball game. It was a fun moment before our game got started here. Cal Young, Matt Churchill, Bryce Johnson, Jordan Chancellor, Noah Cassie, Everett Swaim, Silas Stenderson, and Charlie Decker all had their dads here throwing out the first pitch to celebrate Father's Day. Leading off for the NorthPaws will be Camden Sanders, the left fielder, for the first time in this series, makes an appearance, and he starts in left field. He'll get the batting started, a sophomore out of Niagara University, looking for some summer reps after not playing at all this year for Niagara. He will bat from the right side, and for the first time at Joe Martin Field, he's ready to hit. Cedric Henderson ready to go for his second appearance on the hill here at the WeCoo Diamond. And the first pitch of the ball game is taken for a called ball. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Henderson to get him started. He deals the 1-0. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. Sanders at the plate. Did not appear with Niagara. That came after 24 games played as a freshman back in 2025 as he takes a strike, 1-2. Had a 196 batting average his true freshman season. Likely a redshirt year this year, so he'll be a redshirt sophomore next year. 1-2 swing and miss. Henderson starts his outing with a swinging strikeout as Sanders goes down for the first out in the inning. Brings up Evan Dugdale, the center fielder for this one, after DHing and leading off in last night's contest. 1 of 4 with the 1 hit. One of just the 3 hits that the NorthPaws had, or excuse me, the 6 hits that they had. They had 3 hits in game 1, 6 hits last night, for a total of 9 in the series. Bellingham had 9 in just last night's contest. An 8-2 win for Bellingham yesterday, as Henderson has missed twice to the center fielder, 2 balls and no strikes. Bells had an 8-3 win on Friday to start this series. 8 or more runs for the Bells in all of their last 6 wins, as this is off the inside of the bat of Dugdale. Hattori gets there on a dive, but no throw to first. Keeps it in the infield, but it's an infield single for Dugdale. The first hit of the ball game. Brings up Cade Crawford, who moves into the designated hitter spot after back-to-back starts at center field through this 3-game series. Crawford, the sophomore out of Panola College, up to the plate with a runner on first for the NorthPaws after that single from Evan Dugdale. First pitch to Crawford in there for a strike at 90 miles an hour. Henderson's 0-1 to Crawford is taken away for ball 1. Crawford, a .327 collegiate batting average this season with Panola. His first at that junior college after beginning his career at Weatherford College for the last 2 seasons. He's down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Henderson already 1 strikeout in this outing, the lone out in the first. A single from Dugdale has him off of first as Henderson set with a ball and 2 strikes. Comes home to Crawford and jams him off the inside of his bat. Hattori no chance at 2. Fields and the shortstop will get the lone play at 1. It moves the runner up to second base, but it's the second out in the first inning. North Dakota State's Tate Martin getting the start at first base. We saw him at the opposite corner of the infield on Friday, getting the start at third. After not playing this year with North Dakota State University, getting some reps with Kamloops for his first ever WCL action. 2 down in the first, runner on second for the NorthPaws. Cedric Henderson dealing in his start. His breaker is a strike there for an 0-1 start to the at-bat against the NorthPaws first baseman. A 1 pitch from Henderson home is foul tipped. 2 strikes on Martin. Dugdale off of first with the hit in this inning. Henderson trying to strand him. 0-2 against Tate Martin. And the pitch is taken low. In a way, Moss tried to frame it in there, but it was called a ball. Bell's defense, Moss doing the catching with the battery. Nate Johnson at third, KG Hattori at short, Rashad Hayes at second, Matt Churchill at first. In the outfield, Jaden Jackson in left, Aspen Alexander in center, and Bryce Johnson in right. Cedric Henderson's 1-2 pitch. Low to Martin for ball 2. Two and 2 now on the NorthPaws first baseman, trying to keep the first inning alive against the Bells starting right-hander. As Martin swings and hits it on the ground to KG Hattori, the shortstop. Throws it low and it bounces. And now a run coming in to score for the NorthPaws off the error. Was a low throw to Churchill at first, and it's an error that cost the Bells a run. Dugdale in to score, and the NorthPaws have their first lead of the series. Bellingham had scored first in the first 2 games. With the NorthPaws trying to avoid a sweep, they're in the right direction, taking advantage of the error there. Good on Dugdale to be running around third, going for home no matter what. With 2 outs, it wouldn't have mattered. Hattori just can't make the play. So now Logan Booth up to the plate with a runner at first. Unearned run charge to Henderson as Booth swings for strike 1. Hattori on that grounder had a tough time fielding it in the first place, but was able to get the ball, but it made him rush his throw. And that's why it was low to Churchill at first, who couldn't pick it up. 0-1 fouled away for strike 2 right towards Kamloops in their dugout. Off the left side of your screen. An 0-2 start to the at-bat against the right fielder Logan Booth. As Cedric Henderson looks to get out of this first inning after surrendering the unearned run on the error from the shortstop Hattori. Comes home with 2 strikes as it's taken high for ball 1 to Booth. Booth out of Johnson Community College. Saw him in right field yesterday going 1 of 4. He struck out 1 time. Booth was the final out of the ball game, swinging and missing against Thrasher Steed in the 9th inning to close the 8-2 victory for Bellingham on Saturday night. Now behind the count 1-2 against Cedric Henderson, who deals home, but misses wide. And then with 2 outs, he's drawn into a 2-2 count against Booth. Martin off of first after reaching on the error that scored a run for the NorthPaws, a 1-0 lead for Kamloops. Runner going on a swinging foul tip, so the hit and run fails, and Martin will go back to first. Had a huge lead off of first base. Got a great jump, but the foul ball from Booth will send him back to the first base bag. Pickoff throw to first where Martin dives back safely. Henderson trying to avoid him getting that great jump that he had before. Right-hander set with 2 balls and 2 strikes on Booth. The 2-out pitch home. Swung on and missed by Booth, and it's a strikeout to close the first, but 1 across for Kamloops. And a 1-0 lead here in Bellingham on Father's Day. The Bells coming up to bat for the first time in this game when we return.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Bottom of the first inning in Bellingham. The NorthPaws take an early lead, and a lead for the first time for Kamloops in this series as they get 1 run in on the error by Keiji Hattori. And now it'll be Jaden Jackson, Jake Lyle, and Nate Johnson coming up for the Bellingham Bells to try and match it. They'll face Q Lumsden. Lumsden, a freshman from Vernon Junior College this year, started 13 games as the right-hander had a .464 ERA in 64 innings. Jaden Jackson, the left fielder, will get things going for Bellingham. He, like Cedric Henderson, is a commit to UCLA out of high school, St. John Bosco High School for Jaden Jackson. The Bells, for the first time in this series, going to play catch-up. It's still early, of course, but Jaden Jackson will lead things off as the left fielder has settled into that leadoff spot during his time as a Bellingham Bell. First pitch in from Lumsden is fouled away by Jaden Jackson for strike 1. That one well inside and bounced in the dirt for ball 1. Jackson, a dynamic outfielder, can play the infield, yet we haven't seen him do that in the Bells uniform, but has the unique talent not just to play both sides of the baseball infield, but also a lefty batter. It's a unique prospect that could hear his name called in July. We're welcoming him here in Bellingham to get a wood bat. So he lines it to left center field, gets it for a base knock. Actually, check that. Dugdale got to that ball in time. Thought it hopped in front of him, but no, that was caught by Dugdale, so it is an out. So Jackson is retired on the fly out to center, and it brings up Jake Lyle, the designated hitter. So 1 down, 1-0 lead for Kamloops, and Lyle batting. It's a breaking pitch from Lumsden is away. Lyle yesterday 2 hits in a 2 of 5 night where he scored 2 runs. Pitch into him, called for ball 2. Lyle here in Bellingham, coming from Loyola Marymount University. His first season there after a freshman year with Cal State Northridge. Takes a 2-0 strike 1 from the NorthPaws right-hander. Lumsden a 7-2 record with Vernon this season. Had 61 strikeouts in his 64 innings. On a 2-1, Lyle swings and misses for strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes as Lumsden deals. Lyle flies it foul side of the left side of the infield. And it's the third baseman, Decker, with room just off the left side of your screen to make the play. And he catches it to retire Lyle. Brings up Nate Johnson, the Tulane University corner infielder, getting the start at third base. We look at the NorthPaws defense. Dylan Decker making the play at third just there on the infield. Anthony Sedekassi at short. Ian Huang at second. Tate Martin at first. As this is grounded Huang, and the infielder will finish a scoreless bottom of the first inning. The NorthPaws lead at 1-0 when we return at Joe Martin Field on Father's Day.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store, where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Into the second inning here in Bellingham, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Kamloops NorthPaws after they scored 1 run in the first inning with the help of an error on the Bells' defense. It was Evan Dugdale touching home after reaching on the first base knock of the game, and the only hit by either side through 1 as Cedric Henderson returns to the mound for Bellingham. The right-hander, 2 strikeouts in the first, 1 hit allowed, no walks, and the 1 unearned run against him. Ian Huang, the second baseman, who finished the bottom of the first inning with a putout, now will lead off the top of the second at the plate. Huang, a sophomore from St. Peter's, his first season there after beginning his collegiate career at Niagara University. First pitch into him from Henderson is a strike at strike 1. 91 on the fastball from Henderson. The right-hander's 0-1 is taken wide. Huang had 9 starts and 9 bench appearances this year for St. Peter's. Total of 9 hits and 12 walks for him in limited action. The 1-1 he swings and misses at for strike 2. Wind blowing in towards center field here on a sunny day at the ballpark. No clouds. It's been beautiful weather for the whole homestand so far. You're on Father's Day, a 1-2 to Huang, and he chops at it for a strikeout. Another swing and a miss. Henderson has himself 3 punch-outs through just 4 outs. Brings up Keegan Drinkle, who rode the pine yesterday after hitting a 2-run homer in the 8th inning off of Jordan Chancellor on Friday. It was his only hit of the day in a 1-of-3 performance at the plate. Swings at the first pitch that he sees and skies it. A can of corn for Aspen Alexander in center field, who makes the play. So he secures the putout for the second out in the second inning. Anthony Sedekassi, the shortstop out of Benedictine University. Familiar face to the NorthPaws fans, who have seen Sedekassi suit up with Kamloops for now 3 straight summers, playing 28 games last year and 27 in 2024. Ball and a strike in on him from Cedric Henderson, the Bell's starting right-hander. In play to Hattori, the shortstop, who charges it. His transfer throw in time to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cedric Henderson sitting down the NorthPaws. Bells trail at 1-0 early here at the ballpark.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Mar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, it's Matt Churchill. This is Bells Radio. Much love, Bellingham.
Bottom of the second inning, and the Bells up for the second time in this ball game, trailing at 1-0 against the Kamloops NorthPaws as Matt Churchill comes to the plate. The Bells' first baseman a week ago launched a home run to left field against the Portland Pickles. It's his first home run here at home, second that we've seen by a Bell here at Joe Martin Field. And Churchill, the first pitch to him is wide. Bells went down in order in the first inning against the start of Lumsden. Q Lumsden back in Canada pitching after attending Walnut Grove Secondary. Grew up in Langley, up in British Columbia. 1-1 to Churchill is a strike. Strike two. One-two pitch, just high. And Churchill even as leadoff man. Matt Churchill, Bryce Johnson, Dylan Moss, the three batters due up against the NorthPaws starting right-hander here in the inning. 2-2, swing and a miss from Churchill, and it's a strikeout. It sits down 4 in a row for Q Lumsden. First strikeout for Lumsden here in this start for the NorthPaws, and brings up Bryce Johnson, the right fielder. An offer from Johnson at the first pitch for a strike. Looking at Lumsden on the season, 10 innings pitched in 3 starts with the NorthPaws. He's surrendered 10 runs on 12 hits and 7 walks. This will be Bryce Johnson's first hit of the game and Bellingham's first against the right-hander. As Sedekassi, the shortstop, got to the ball on a dive in shallow left field, but well hit enough by Johnson to get him the single. And brings up Dylan Moss. After a start in center field, Moss is back in his comfortable spot behind the plate catching. First pitch swing and a miss from Moss. So the Bells get the tying run on board here in the second inning. Chasing 1 as they trail in this series for the first time. Moss sprays it off the right side foul for a strike, and he's down 0-2 in the count. Moss, another high school senior, that's headed to a big D1. He's going to Stanford in the fall. Him, Jaden Jackson, KG Hattori, and Cedric Henderson in today's starting lineup all just finished up their high school careers. Thought about going, and he went around. It's the second strikeout in the inning for Lumsden, and 2 outs in the first inning for Aspen Alexander. Alexander 1 year removed from his high school career at Lake Stevens, where he garnered first-team All-State honors and was the Everett Herald's 2025 Hitter of the Year. This past year spent without playing a game at Grand Canyon University. One-0 upstairs to the Bells center fielder. Alexander has been asked to play multiple different positions with a couple of injuries that have bit the Bells throughout the early start of the season. Right now without Bo Schinkel. Aspen Alexander fouls away strike 1. 2-1 now on him. Bryce Johnson off of first with his hit in this inning. Kamloops a 1-0 lead. 2-1 to Alexander is taken for strike 2. Two hits for Alexander yesterday, batting 9th in the order. Today shifted up to 7th. Was in the infield last night. Now today in center field, and foul tips a 2-strike pitch to stay alive. Lumsden set with 2 outs and a 2-2 count against Alexander. He gets his 3rd strikeout in the frame, and it's 3 punch-outs for Lumsden in the second to strand the lone single from Bryce Johnson. 1-0 is the lead for the Kamloops NorthPaws heading into the 3rd inning at Joe Martin Field.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Into the third inning at Joe Martin Field on Father's Day here in Bellingham, as it's a 1-0 lead for the Kamloops NorthPaws. NorthPaws trying to avoid a sweep against the Bellingham Bells. Cedric Henderson, one unearned run against him in the first. A 1-2-3 second. Now will face the 9-1-2 hitters for the NorthPaws in the third. Henderson so far, just the lone hit allowed back in the first inning. No walks issued, and 3 strikeouts for the flame-throwing right-hander. He'll face Dylan Decker, who we saw come in relief out of the NorthPaws bullpen yesterday. Pitched the 8th inning, surrendered 1 walk, but had the help of a double play to face just 3 batters. Now here, the two-way guy at the plate, swinging and missing for strike 2. Decker, a returning Northpaw. It's his 3rd season with Kamloops. Swings and misses, and Henderson has his 4th punch-out and gets the 3rd started with a strikeout. These 2 starting pitchers dueling with their Ks. 3 strikeouts in the 2nd inning for Q Lumsden, and then now Henderson picks up his 4th, sitting down the leadoff man with a K. First pitch swinging from Sanders, shallow center field. Alexander was late to jump on it. It's Hattori bobbling it in the outfield. Now heading to second is the runner. The throw goes wild to the backstop, but the runner will stay at second base. So Sanders reaches on a single, a blooping hit. Alexander, the center fielder, didn't see it well off the bat, and it was Hattori having to cover that thing way out there. It does drop in for the 2nd hit of the game. The question is if it's an error. Dugdale taking strike 1, so Henderson trying to work around that single with 1 out. Foul tip makes it 0-2. Too low. Moss blocks it to keep the runner at second base. Sanders with a single and an advance to second on the throw gets him in scoring position. No error to the Bells defense. Error costed them in the first inning the 1 run in this ball game. NorthPaws leading at 1-0. Henderson set for a 1-2 pitch. Hit back up the middle into the gap for a base knock. Runner being waved around third home as Aspen Alexander's throw is not in time. Gets the backstop as well, and up to second base goes Dugdale. And the NorthPaws have doubled their lead. And 2 straight singles by the NorthPaws have them 3 hits off of Henderson, and after the right-hander sat down the first batter via a strikeout, NorthPaws have tagged his first earned run against him in the start. Brings up Cade Crawford, who grounded out to Hattori at short. One out and a runner on second. Henderson's pitch, a fastball at 92, in for strike 1. Crawford and these NorthPaws trying to get out in front of these Bellingham Bells, which have found a lot of success in their last 6 games. The Bells outscoring their opponents during this 6-game winning streak, 60 runs to 20. Spans across three separate opponents with a win against Portland, 3 against Port Angeles, 2 against the Kamloops NorthPaws. Bells in all 6 of those wins, 8 or more runs. NorthPaws the early 2-0 lead to get them out in front, but if the offense stays hot, NorthPaws are going to have to add to it, and they're trying to do just that with Crawford here at the plate, swinging in, having a foul tip for strike 2. Henderson with a new baseball in the gloves. The right-hander puts his back right foot on the center of the rubber. Looks in at Dylan Moss, the catcher, for a sign. NorthPaws with a runner at second, already a run in the inning. The 1-2 pitch is taken upstairs and inside to Crawford for ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Crawford. Back-to-back singles here for the NorthPaws to get them their second run of the ball game. 2-0 the lead for Kamloops. On a 2-2, it's pulled from Henderson for ball 3. Count filled up with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Second time through the order, finding success. And on a 3-2, Crawford pops it back out of play, foul. Crawford will have another look at the 3-2 pitch. On deck is Tate Martin, who helped score the first run of the game after reaching on an error. NorthPaws have since doubled that lead here in this frame, and now Henderson trying to find his second out in the inning. On a 3-2 pitch, it's a swinging foul tip from Crawford, and he stays alive. Full count pitch, runner going as the liner is foul right past the third base coach's box. And stays 3-2. Crawford drawing along at bat here against Cedric Henderson. Another 3-2 awaiting after the move to second base from Henderson to see if Dugdale was trying to get a jump again. Three-two still as it comes home. Fouled back for yet again another payoff pitch coming to Crawford. Crawford battling in a full count. Henderson's pitch with 1 out. Hit in play off the inside of the bat. Nate Johnson at third, charging it. His throw to first in time. He makes the play with a second out in the inning, but the runner does move up 90 feet to third base. Tate Martin will try and perform with 2 outs again, put the ball in play in the first inning with a runner on second base, and the help of the error from Keiji Hattori helped the NorthPaws take the 1-0 lead in the first. They've since added on here in this very inning off the RBI single from Dugdale, who now finds himself at third base. Tate Martin taking ball 1 at the plate. Moss pump faking a back pick throw after Martin takes the strike. It's ball and a strike now. 1-1 pitch from the right-hander. Martin swings and misses at the breaking pitch for strike 2. Henderson started this frame with a strikeout. He's got 4 total against the NorthPaws. 1-2 swing and miss. Henderson gets another punch out, but it's one more run across for Kamloops in the inning, and now it's 2-0, the NorthPaws in front of Bellingham when we come back in the bottom of the 3rd.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store, where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Bottom of the 3rd, Bellingham trailing Kamloops 2-0 as KG Hattori leads off the bottom of the 3rd inning against the starter Q Lumsden, who so far has looked great. 7 batters faced through 2 innings with only a hit allowed. He struck out 3 batters all back in the 2nd inning. It's part of his scoreless frame and against KG Hattori. He gets himself strike 1. One on the shortstop lined out to left field, but enough air under it for Sanders to secure the first out.
Now batting for your Bells from Stanford University, second baseman number 20, Rashad Hayes.
Rashad Hayes up for Bellingham as the second baseman out of Stanford finishes out the first starting 9 through. One out, the Bells trail at 2-0 as Hayes hits it on the ground out to left field, and Bellingham will have their second hit coming once again with 1 out. Bryce Johnson did the same thing back in the 2nd but was left on base. Bells will try and not spoil this one. Jaden Jackson comes up. Jackson, the left fielder, flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Lumsden's 1-out pitch to Jackson, taken for ball 1. Want to know high and away to Jackson as it's the second time through here against Lumsden. First time through, 2 hits, 3 punch-outs for the right-hander. No walks issued to Bellingham. Not an easy team to strike out either. Bellingham strikes out the 3rd least of any team in the WCL so far this summer. And they draw some of the most walks in the league. Yet today it's been the opposite. Although Jackson ahead in the count 2-1. Runner going on the pitch. Hayes slides into second head first for steal of the bag, and now into scoring position for the top of the order. 3-1 now the count on Jaden Jackson after the miss and the steal from Hayes. Jake Lyle on deck. Lumsden set, looking back at second base. Now he pitches home. Jackson lines it up the middle, hopping to the shortstop Sedekassi, who gets there to his left and gains the out. Sedekassi benefiting from covering second base there against the lefty hitter. The shortstop shifting over and got himself a head start up the middle for Jackson's potential base hit that's now robbed into a 6-3 grounder. That makes it 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Tying run at the plate in the form of Jake Lyle. Lyle taking the first pitch called for a strike. The DH popped up to the infield. Decker, the third baseman, retired him in a foul ground catch. Hayes dancing off of third base as Lumsden pitches and misses for a ball. Ball and a strike on Lyle. A 2-0 lead for the NorthPaws with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Lyle pokes this to right but foul. 1-2 on the designated hitter. Lyle leaves the pitch low for ball 2, and he's even. Looking to extend the third as the Bells trailing by 2. 1 run in the first for the NorthPaws, 1 in the top of this frame in the third to make it 2-0. Lumsden, the starter, set 2-2 against Jake Lyle. Off the inside of his bat, a weak grounder to Sedekassi at short, and that'll finish the frame scoreless. It's 2-0, the lead for the NorthPaws as we go to the fourth in Bellingham.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Fourth inning, and Bellingham goes to their bullpen. It's one UCLA guy to the next. Cedric Henderson passes the ball to Robbie Zimmerman as the left-hander will take over for Henderson, who finishes 3 innings of work. Henderson allows 3 hits, no walks, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, and exits with 5 strikeouts in his 3 innings of a start. Robbie Zimmerman will start things off for his first inning in relief. Zimmerman, an incoming UCLA freshman out of Redondo Union High School, will face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters of the NorthPaws, led off by Logan Booth, who struck out in his first appearance at the plate. Booth, the lefty batter, taking the first pitch for a called ball. 1-0 in the lefty-on-lefty matchup to start the 4th inning, and 2 straight misses to Booth. Just the 2nd appearance of the summer for Robbie Zimmerman. Appeared here at home on June 14th. Fouled away from Booth, strike 1. Exactly a week ago when Zimmerman debuted for Bellingham against the Portland Pickles. He tossed 2 innings of scoreless baseball, gave up just 1 hit, and had 2 strikeouts. Out to left field, Jaden Jackson back for it and has it in time. The first out in the 4th inning on a fly out to left. Ian Huang struck out when he started off the 2nd inning. Now with 1 out, he comes up in the 4th. The second baseman bats from the right side against Zimmerman. The pitcher throws low for ball 1. Foul tip from Huang, strike 1. Zimmerman on Redondo Union High School this year teamed with Keiji Hattori for a 17-13 record. Lost to Miracosta in the postseason. Now both of them in Bellingham, headed to different colleges. Zimmerman going to UCLA, and Hattori, the Bells, starting shortstop in this one, headed to Cal Poly. Huang hits a foul ball for strike 2. Zimmerman participated in the Under Armour Next All-American game. That took place during September of 2025, and it was at Camden Yards in Baltimore. That's got to be one of the coolest ballparks in the major leagues. The big factory off of right field. 2-2 from Zimmerman. Off the right side on another foul ball. Jammed him at the hands. And keeps Huang alive as he got the bat to the ball. That Under Armour Next All-America game was the 20th annual edition of the nationally recognized high school baseball showcase. Zimmerman was one of the top 40 prospects selected to compete in that game. He has to step off the rubber before delivering another 2-2 pitch to Huang. Now he's back on the third base side. The lefty wearing the number 44 comes home with 1 out. Huang to right field, foul territory. Bryce Johnson nearing the fence and chooses not to leap over it this time. Two nights ago at a play out there he tried to make an athletic leap over the fence, but no injury or an out gained from him then, and this time he just watches it get out of play. And there will be another 2-2 pitch coming to the second baseman for Kamloops. Ball taken by Huang, and a full count. Three-two. Fouled back from Huang, and it stays even in a full count. Another payoff pitch from Zimmerman in his first inning of relief, and he gets the punch out. A swing and miss for a strikeout, his second out gained in the 4th. As he sits down Ian Huang, and Keegan Drinkle now comes up. Drinkle flew out to center field on 1 pitch in his first at-bat. Now the lefty-on-lefty matchup goes for strike 1. Windy day at the ballpark. Our center field camera getting blown a little bit to the left, as I'm sure you're aware. They say that Drinkle goes around on a check swing, so he's down the count 0-2. We're still new to the YouTube landscape, setting up our own cameras from behind home plate out in center field. So appreciate you guys bearing with us for some of the early stages of a new life to the web stream here at Joe Martin Field. Ball and 2 strikes on Drinkle. Zimmerman's 1-2. Swing and a miss. And he gets back-to-back Ks to finish a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Bells trailing 2-0. We go bottom 4 here on Father's Day at Joe Martin Field.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Mar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Bottom of the fourth inning at Bellingham's Joe Martin Field. Game 3 of 3 between the Kamloops NorthPaws and the Bellingham Bells. 3 of a 6-game homestand. We'll have tomorrow off, but then the Port Angeles Lefties come to town. That'll be a familiar opponent for Bellingham, who during the start of earlier this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, played the Lefties. So it'll be back-to-back weeks facing Port Angeles. And then they also play the Lefties again here at home from the 10th to 12th of July. That features a firework night on Saturday and a 4:35 start on the 10th as well during that July homestand. You won't see the Bells a whole lot here after the 3 games against Port Angeles coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They're going to be on the road for their next 3 series, Victoria, Edmonton, and Nanaimo. Next time they'll be home after the 25th of June will be July 7th, taking on the Northwest Star Nighthawks in a non-league contest. Nate Johnson leading off the frame, fouls his swing on an early try at it. Ball and 2 strikes from Johnson. Today grounded out to second base in his first at-bat. Sits on a pitch high and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Johnson played a brief stint in the California Collegiate League last summer for the Conejo Oaks. Just 5 games played for him there. He's a California guy at a Westlake High School, but last 2 seasons has been spent in Tulane. Full count plunks him near the knee. Johnson takes off the gear and will head to first base on the game's first hit by pitch. Matt Churchill, after striking out in the second inning, now up. Churchill, a sophomore out of the University of Puget Sound. Inside nearly got him as it's ball one. 13 homers for the Loggers this year. We've seen his power flexed here at home as well as on the road. Always hard to launch the ball out of Joe Martin Field, but we've seen one homer from Churchill at home, one on the road. We've seen Dylan Moss get one out of the ballpark. Saw Keegan Drinkle earlier in this series for the NorthPaws hit a home run. Churchill hits a ground ball that bounces off the third baseman Decker's glove and will have runners on first and second after the hit.
Now batting for your Bells, right fielder number 13, Bryce Johnson.
Bryce Johnson playing in his 14th game of the summer with the Bellingham Bells for the second time in his career. 278 average for Johnson in the WCL after a 233 average for the Bells in 2024, where he played in 27 games. First pitch goes wild, gets to the backstop, and both runners move up 90 feet, and now the Bells have the tying run into scoring position. Trailing 2-0 against Kamloops, you have Churchill as the tying run behind Nate Johnson on third and second base. No outs in the fourth, and a chance here to even up this ball game with a swing from Bryce Johnson. Bryce Johnson found himself in this same position where two runners moved up on a wild pitch in the game against the Nanaimo Night Owls, where he walked it off with a base hit the opposite way into right field. Still early in this ball game, but he lays down a bunt first base side, and it will score the game's first run. A beautiful sacrifice from Johnson to get the Bells on the scoreboard as he gets the job done. So the squeeze works out. Johnson scores. Behind him, Churchill to third. Now the tying run 90 feet away, and that was a great decision right there, because not only do you get one run in to get yourself on the scoreboard, you now only have one out, and the tying run now another sacrifice away, as Kamloops will shift its infield in for Dylan Moss. On a line to right center field, and Dylan Moss drives in the tying run with a base hit. It's now 2-2 in a brand new ball game with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Bells have tied it here on Father's Day. Aspen Alexander struck out swinging back in the second against the starting pitcher, Hugh Lumsden, now, who has been tagged for 2 earned runs in the fourth. Runner going on the first pitch. Alexander attacks it and sends it out to left field. They're stringing them together in the fourth inning. And now 2 runners on with 1 out for KG Hattori. NorthPaws maybe need a second here with Lumsden to talk on the mound. 2 runs have come in after Nate Johnson was hit by a pitch. Matt Churchill singled. Bryce Johnson laid down the sacrifice bunt to get Bellingham on the board. Dylan Moss tied the game with his RBI knock, and now Aspen Alexander putting 2 runners on for the 8-spot hitter, KG Hattori. And the shortstop made an error in the first inning that costed the Bells a run. Now he has the chance to get them the lead. Runners on first and second for the incoming Cal Poly freshman out of Redondo Union High School. Trying to get his teammate Robbie Zimmerman the lead, who just took over on the mound in the top half of this inning and threw a scoreless fourth. The game now tied 2 runs apiece between the Bells and NorthPaws. The pitch to Hattori is in for a strike in his at-bat underway against Q Lumsden. Lefty batting KG Hattori at the plate with 1 out. The right-hander's pitch to him. Hit foul off the left side into that jam-packed grass outfield. It's strike 2. Unique feature here at Joe Martin Field. You know, you have the grandstands, you have the bleachers, but we also got a big grass hill just off of left field. Families can bring their lawn chairs and sit and enjoy a ball game, lay on a blanket. It's packed here on Father's Day. No balls and 2 strikes on KG Hattori. Out to left center field on a lofting swing. Gloved by Dugdale, the center fielder. Now tagging from second to third is Moss. It was a great job by Dugdale to get to that ball in center field. What range from him for the second out. It takes away a potential RBI knock from Hattori. Makes it 2 outs and runners on the corners, with Rashad Hayes coming up. Hayes, the bottom of the order hitter for Bellingham. Just 14 at-bats this season with Stanford. In the 17 games he'd played, he had 2 hits. He's already got 1 hit today in the 3rd inning after he singled and stole second, but ultimately was left on base. Ball 1 upstairs to Rashad Hayes to start his at-bat. Top of the order, Jaden Jackson on deck. 2-2 the tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Check swing on an awkward try from Hayes. Wasn't confident about it. And the 88-mile-an-hour fastball gets by him for strike 1. The 1-1 with a runner going. Hayes skies it to right center, and this should finish the frame as the right fielder Booth has the out. But the Bells get 2 runs in to make it a brand new ball game. We're even, 2 scores each for the NorthPaws and the Bells. Heading into the 5th inning, here live from Joe Martin Field, you're listening to the Bells Radio Network.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Mar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
2-2, a tied score in Bellingham, Washington here on this Father's Day. The Kamloops NorthPaws and Bellingham Bells even after a 2-run inning in the bottom of the 4th by Bellingham. Nate Johnson led off that frame with a hit by pitch. Matt Churchill singled behind him, and then those 2 runners scored on Bryce Johnson's RBI bunt and then an RBI single from Dylan Moss. 2 runners left on base to end that inning, but the Bells get themselves a tied ball game here as they look for a sweep over the Kamloops NorthPaws after taking 8-3 wins and 8-2 wins on Friday and Saturday. Robbie Zimmerman, the lefty, back up onto the hill for Bellingham after going 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th inning. He capped off a perfect frame with 2 strikeouts and now faces the 8-9-1 hitters for the Kamloops NorthPaws. Anthony Sedekassi, the shortstop, will lead it off for the visitors. A grounder to his Keystone counterpart in his first at-bat as he was retired in the 2nd inning via the 6-3 ground out. Sedekassi taps his bat on home plate. The right-handed batter faces the lefty-throwing Robbie Zimmerman. Zimmerman's first pitch is wide for ball 1. Foul tip from Sedekassi for strike 1. Sedekassi has had a lot of collegiate stops. Began his career at Douglas College when he came out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Vancouver and spent 2 years at the University of Fraser Valley. This past season, Benedictine University in 45 games for him. Behind the count, ball and 2 strikes facing Robbie Zimmerman. The lefty's 2-2 pitch. Hit up the middle and a base knock to lead off the 5th as the NorthPaws look to answer the 2-run inning from Bellingham to tie this game. The third baseman, Dylan Decker, out of Trinidad State for the second time, struck out at the plate. The lefty two-way player appearing as a batter for the first time in this 3-game series. Robbie Zimmerman, the left-handed pitcher, on the mound. The lead off of first from Anthony Sedicassi. First pitch into Decker is ball 1 from Zimmerman. He looks at first. Now Zimmerman comes home. Decker looks at the breaking pitch outside for ball 2. A .318 average for Decker in 54 games with Trinidad State this year. On his 55 hits, he drove in 38 runs and scored 40 times. 2-0 on the outside, called for ball 3. Zimmerman behind the third baseman looking for strike, and after a 1-2-3 fourth inning, fifth inning already with a leadoff single to Sedicassi, and now Zimmerman trying to avoid the walk with his 3-0. Able to find the strike zone at 87 from the lefty, and it's 3-1. Top of the order in Sanders is on deck. He already has 1 hit in the ball game. Camden Sanders delivered 1 of 4 hits for the NorthPaws through the first 4 innings. 3-1. Chopper on the ground. Hayes, the second baseman to his left, only has a play at first base. Going the opposite way from the second base bag, takes him out of the double play chance. So it's the first out. And a runner into scoring position. The go-ahead run for the NorthPaws in the 5th. In a 2-2 tie, it's back to the top of the order in Camden Sanders. Sanders scored on his single in the 3rd. Came home on the RBI knock from Evan Dugdale, who waits on deck with 1 out. Zimmerman a glance back at second, now throws home. Swing and miss from Sanders, strike 1. Sanders in the West Coast League for his first time in his career after playing 39 games for the Fort McMurray Giants in the Western Canadian Baseball League last year. He struggled in that time for a .177 batting average, but where he did come through was with his pop. 6 home runs, 4 doubles of his 20 hits. Half of his knocks, 4 extra bases, and he drove in 19 runs. Ball and a strike on the NorthPaws left fielder to start his at-bat, looking to retake the lead for Kamloops in the top of the 5th inning. Robbie Zimmerman, the lefty, for Bellingham deals. Misses for ball 2. Right-handed batting Sanders looking to do damage. Zimmerman looks back at the runner at second. His 2-1 pitch home. Off the inside of Sanders' bat into center field for Aspen Alexander. Not deep enough to get a tag up from Sedicassi, and 2 outs in the 5th. Evan Dugdale came through with an RBI knock. Came with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Here with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Dugdale will come up for the 3rd time in the game, working on a 2 of 2 days so far. 2 singles, 1 run, 1 RBI for Dugdale. 26 runs driven in for him at Vernon Junior College this year. First pitch swinging to center field. Alexander first went in, now will back up for the 3rd out in his glove. Base runner stranded in the 5th. We go bottom 5. We're halfway home in a 2-2 ball game between Bellingham and Kamloops.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value,
a higher quality of life with better appliances,
and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Bottom of the fifth inning in Bellingham as the final patrons of the Dinger Run get off the infield. A tradition here at Joe Martin Field. Kids, friends, family, anyone who wants to run across the infield can do that between the fifth inning. And they're all cleared up for Jaden Jackson here in the bottom of the fifth. He swings at the first pitch, and it's strike one. Bells scored 2 runs in the fourth, now hunting the lead here against the NorthPaws starter, who is out there for his fifth inning of work. Cue Lumsden, the right-hander, who misses to Jackson for ball one. Third time through the order here. Jackson's 0 of 2 so far. A fly out to center, a ground out to short. 1-1 swing and miss from him is strike two. It's Jackson Lyle and Nate Johnson coming up for Bellingham here, hunting a lead in the fifth. Jackson well struck out to right field. Back is Booth. It'll hop against the base of the wall. Jackson took a look at second, but on a good throw and pick from Booth out in right field, he'll keep him to just a well-struck single. Jackson could turn that single into a double with his speed, but we'll see if he takes off during Jake Lyle's at-bat. Lyle 0 of 2 in the game for Bellingham. After 2 hits yesterday, Jake Lyle continues to swing the stick well for Bellingham. We saw him on the road at Port Angeles catch fire, and in this series he's got 4 hits through the 2 games. A pickoff throw went back to first base where Jackson was back safely. Another move, Jackson safely there. That one not even into the glove of Tate Martin at first. Jake Lyle has impressed in his first season in the West Coast League after playing last summer in the Pacific Empire League, a collegiate summer league where he was a member of the West Coast Kings. Fouled back from Lyle for strike one. First pitch to him from the starter Lumsden. Lumsden trying to go into the fifth here in a tie ball game. Was in line for a potential victory if he got through 5 before surrendering the 2 runs in the fourth inning that tied us in this ball game. Now Jackson with a big lead off of first. Throw goes there. And he's safe. Now we do have a pitch clock in the WCL, but we don't have the limit of throwovers to first base as the major leagues do. No 1 to Lyle. They appeal the check swing, and he did not go around, so ball 1 to Lyle. 1-1 on the Bells DH. Nate Johnson on deck. Pickoff throw again. Jackson diving back head first. And now he gets the boos. Lumsden, the pitcher, 4 tries, I think it's been, to try and get Jackson off of first. He's still got that big lead. Takes a bigger secondary. 1-1, he's going. Lyle swings and misses. The throw down to second base. Gets into center field, but Sedekassi, the shortstop, backing up. Huang at second is able to keep Jackson just at second base, but with no outs, the go-ahead run moves into scoring position with Jackson's first steal of the game. Second steal by a Bellingham Bell off of Keegan Drinkle, the catcher. Rashad Hayes had one back in the third. Jake Lyle 0 of 2, now a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. He's 1-2 in his count with no outs in the bottom of the fifth. On the ground to the right side, productive out as he gets him over with 1 out. And quality at bat there from Jake Lyle to move the go-ahead run into scoring position with only 1 out. So Jaden Jackson gets himself into scoring position. Jake Lyle gets him over with the 4-3 put out from Huang. And there's 1 out for Nate Johnson, who's looking to elevate the baseball into the outfield to give the Bells the lead. Infield for the NorthPaws in. Johnson jammed a shallow left. It'll be playable by the shortstop, but Sedekassi is called off by Sanders, and now that sacrifice potential wasted away.
Next up for your Bells, number 19, Matt Churchill.
Matt Churchill will have to deliver the go-ahead knock with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth and a 2-2 tie. Jaden Jackson at third base. And with his speed, Drinkle has to be a brick wall. Lumsden can't throw it wild. Jackson is free to try and take home if any of those things happen, and it gets the backstop. Churchill taking the first pitch high for ball 1. Today, Matt Churchill 1 of 2, a run scored on his single in the fourth. Struck out in his first appearance against the starting righty. He smokes this to left field, but foul all over that breaking pitch, but the early swing is just a long strike. So a ball and 1 strike on Churchill, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Bells and NorthPaws tied at 2 in their third game of 3. 1-1. Fastball high at 90 miles an hour from Q Lumsden, who has kept his velocity into the 5th inning. North of 70 pitches as he faces Churchill. Waited on by Churchill, and now 3-1. Bryce Johnson on deck. If it gets to him with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Churchill takes an inside strike for a full count. Three-two pitch coming with 2 outs. Churchill lines it foul just over the third baseman Decker. Another early swing from Churchill, and he'll pick up his bat, ready to go in another 3-2. Likely the last batter Lumsden's facing here in this start, or at least that would be if he gets out of the 5th inning. Set for another payoff pitch. It comes to Churchill. Pops him up. Playable for the shortstop, Sedekassi in the outfield grass. That's the 3rd out. Jackson's left on third base as the go-ahead run. It's 2-2, tied as we go to the 6th. It's Father's Day at Joe Martin Field, and we've got a good ball game for you here in the Great Pacific Northwest.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Into our 6th inning of West Coast League baseball here at Joe Martin Field on this Sunday afternoon. It's Father's Day. The ballpark is packed, and it has so far been a good environment for baseball. A 2-2 tie between the Kamloops NorthPaws and your Bellingham Bells, and the Bells are into their bullpen for the second time in this game as Robbie Zimmerman goes 2 innings in relief. Zimmerman struck out 2, did not walk a batter, and gave up just 1 hit with no runs against him in the scoreless 4th and 5th innings he tossed. And now debuting on the mound, a freshman from UCLA, Will Crane. It has been a UCLA day for these pitchers. You have Cedric Henderson, who's committed to UCLA. Robbie Zimmerman, also committed to UCLA out of high school. Will Crane was with the Bruins this year, but he didn't appear in a game. Likely a redshirt freshman season for him, coming out of Eastside Catholic High School here in Washington. He's back up north here in the PNW, pitching for the Bellingham Bells. Cade Crawford 0 of 2 as the designated hitter. Has a pair of groundouts to the left side of the infield, Nate Johnson and KG Hattori. At third base and short. First pitch is a strike to Crawford and underway in the 6th. Here's an 0-1. Up and inside for ball 1 to Crawford. Crane, during his high school career with Eastside Catholic, an All-Metro League first-team selection, is also All-State pitcher, as that is at the hands of Crawford, and hits him for the first hit batter of the game by any Bells pitcher.
Now batting for the NorthPaws, number 22, Tate Martin.
So Crawford hit, and it brings up Tate Martin. Tate Martin 0 of 2, reached on an error that scored a run in the first. Struck out swinging in the 3rd. Training team over there at first base making sure that Crawford's all right. Our trainer from Everstrong Physical Therapy there checking out Crawford, and all is well and good for the NorthPaws DH. Will Crane wearing the number 18 for Bellingham here in his debut. It's Tate Martin, the first baseman, at the plate when Crane comes set. Dealing from the middle of the rubber. As the right-hander at 87 miles an hour misses low. Runner going on the 1-0 pitch. Moss's throw down to second base is just late. Tag applied from Hattori, not in time, and Crawford steals second. Puts the go-ahead run for the NorthPaws in the 6th inning in scoring position. Bellingham had their own chance to do this same thing. The leadoff single from Jaden Jackson, the steal of second, and then the grounder from Lyle to move Jackson to third base, but then Johnson and Churchill could not get the go-ahead run in, and Jackson was left on third. Now the corner infield's playing in for Bellingham, as it's popped back foul from Martin, strike 2. Center of the infield playing straight up. Crane last season pitched for the Bend Elks for 11 1/3 innings. Was tagged for 10 runs in that short time with Bend. This is his debut with Bellingham. as his 1-2 breaking pitch misses for ball 2. Crawford was dancing off of second, attracting Crane's attention. UCLA freshman with a deep breath before he gets back on the rubber. Facing Tate Martin in a 2-2 count, no outs, top of the 6th, and a tied ball game. The go-ahead run for the NorthPaws off of second. Missed just inside to Martin, and now a full count. The 3-2 lined out to left field, headed for the corner. The go-ahead run will score. Tate Martin hustling into second base as Jaden Jackson gets it finally in the outfield corner. And it's an RBI double for the NorthPaws to make it 3-2 Kamloops. So the NorthPaws back in front here in the 6th. They lead it 3-2. Martin will be at second base with no outs, and Will Crane surrenders a run in his Bells debut. Logan Booth in this game 0 of 2 for Kamloops. That fastball pulled low for ball 1, 88 miles an hour from the right-hander. Kamloops doing their best to try and ward off this sweep attempt from Bellingham. They've gone ahead, back 3-2 now. There's a swing and miss from Booth for strike 1. Ball and a strike on Booth. There's the 1-1. On the ground to the first baseman. Churchill stops it, going down to a knee. The first out is a productive one that moves Martin up to third. But it is the first out, and it passes the baton to Ian Huang. Second baseman Huang has struck out both times at the plate. Bell's pitchers have 7 combined strikeouts between Cedric Henderson and Robbie Zimmerman. Will Crane dotting strike 1 on the outside to Huang. The 1 pitch to the lefty batter. Bell's infield playing in. Ball 1 outside to Huang. "24 games in the Perfect Game Collegiate League last summer for Huang. Played for the Niagara Falls Americans after his college season was spent with at Niagara University. Huang initially from Surrey, British Columbia, now playing for the NorthPaws of Kamloops. It's a foul ball for strike 2. He led the BC Premier Baseball League in average and RBI during the 2024 season with Pacific Academy. Exited his prep career as the number 6 ranked player in British Columbia. Two. Hit foul as it bounced off the ground and back into the helmet of Huang, but 2-2 still remaining as the count. Two and two. Huang takes it for a full count. So 3-2 on Huang with NorthPaws with a runner off of third base with one out. Line to center field, and the NorthPaws are going to tack on to their lead with that RBI knock from Huang. It makes it 4-2 Kamloops. After the double from Martin to drive in a run, he now scores on the single from Huang, and Crane has surrendered 2 runs in his Bell's debut here in the 6th inning. Keegan Drinkle at the dish, fouling away the first pitch from Crane. Runner off of first, one out in the 6th. Pitch wide to Keegan Drinkle for ball 1. Hit by pitch and 2 hits off of Will Crane here in his Bell's debut during the 6th have given the Kamloops NorthPaws a 4-2 lead. NorthPaws now with 6 hits, matching the Bell's 6. Pickoff throw to first, where back safely is Ian Huang. Drinkle 0 of 2, fly out to center, strikeout swinging. So 1-1 pitch comes home to him. Dylan Moss is banged up here. Looks like the baseball might have gotten up into the neck. Knocked some wind out of Dylan Moss, the catcher. Let's hope that the young catcher's all right. Brutal position to play, catcher. And you just get beat up back there, squatting in the dirt. Obviously here it's a turf, but squatting behind there, you've got a bat swinging. You've got a baseball coming at you at 90 miles an hour, and then when it ends up on the ground, you got to block it. And sometimes some of those deflections end up in places very uncomfortable, and looks like Moss caught one to the neck. So our physical therapist checking up on Moss to make sure he's all right. Coach Alan Regier also out there checking on his catcher. Plenty of catcher depth on this team. If Moss has to exit, Matt Churchill playing first base. He would be the most realistic man to go catch because Jake Lyle is your DH, and you don't want to move him into the field and lose your DH for the rest of the game. And Churchill was looking like he was ready to go, and it might be the move taking Moss out. So, yeah, Churchill's going to take off the hat and get the gear on from first base to behind the dish for Churchill. And let's hope Dylan Moss is all right. He'll be finished for the rest of this game. It's likely going to be Noah Cassie, you would think, off the bench playing first. And, yeah, Cassie heads out to the infield. Churchill will get dressed. So we'll update the scorecard here now. So Churchill moves to the catching spot. Dylan Moss, 6th in the order, is replaced by Noah Cassie on defense at first base. After the baseball caught Dylan Moss in the neck. That's a scary one. Churchill will go out. He's meeting Will Crane for the first time. This is a battery that has never worked with each other. Will Crane had to figure out his battery with Dylan Moss right before he came out in relief, and now having to figure things out with Matt Churchill. So Churchill's got his catching gear on. Gets his signals aligned with Will Crane, and now will go behind the dish. Churchill, initially a catcher coming here to Bellingham out of the University of Puget Sound, but we've got so many great options behind the dish, Jake Lyle and Dylan Moss, that Churchill has been playing a lot of first base, a lot of DH, but he's going to catch Will Crane, who will get some warm-up pitches here in the top of the 6th inning. And Keegan Drinkle going to resume in a 2-1 count as the lefty catcher, up with 1 out. First pitch on the outside for a strike into Drinkle. As Will Crane pitches with 1 out. 2 runs across in this inning for Kamloops. They've got a 4-2 lead over the Bellingham Bells here on this Sunday afternoon. On the ground to Hattori, the shortstop. Took a look at second, but will only throw to first, where Noah Cassie makes his first catch there at the bag. Coming off the bench, and that's the 2nd out. Hattori didn't want to risk the double play chance and have the risk of not getting any outs. He'll take his 2nd out of the inning at first. And Anthony Sedicassi bats with now Huang in scoring position at second base. Foul ball from Sedicassi for strike 1. Sedicassi taking a ball inside as he's at the plate for the 3rd time in this game. A single and a ground out for the NorthPaws shortstop. Fouled off the right side. First baseman Cassie has a look at it, but it ends up on the bleachers. Bleachers that are filled up here today on Father's Day. A great crowd here at Joe Martin Field for the 3rd game of 6 at home. Bells have 3 more home games coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all starting at 6:35 against the Port Angeles Lefties. Bells offense had a lot of fun on the road at Port Angeles. We'll see if they can find the same success facing the Lefties here at home. Crane, a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss from Sedicassi as he goes chasing on the outside. A strikeout finishes the 6th, but the NorthPaws get 2 runs in the inning to lead at 4-2, entering the bottom of the 6th inning.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Mar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapist and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Bottom of the 6th inning in Bellingham, the Kamloops NorthPaws now hold a 4-2 lead after a 2-run top of the inning, and Nick Westendorp takes over on the mound with the NorthPaws now leading it. That leaves Q Lumsden in line for a victory if the score holds with the NorthPaws in front. 2-run innings pitched by the starter for Kamloops. He hit 1 batter, did not walk a batter, gave up 6 hits for the 2 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Westendorp for the 6th time this summer appearing for Kamloops. He'll face Bryce Johnson, Noah Cassie, and Aspen Alexander. Bryce Johnson fouls back the first pitch for strike 1. Begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Westendorp has been lights out for Kamloops so far through 9 1/3. Just an 0.96 ERA for this right-hander. On the ground from Johnson, hopping to the third baseman Decker. He retires Johnson on a throw to first to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting for the Bells from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, first baseman number 8, Noah Cassie.
So 6th appearance of the year for Westendorp. 9 1/3 innings total for him. He's allowed 4 hits and 3 walks for just 2 runs. One of those an unearned run, so just 1 earned run against him. And 7 strikeouts for the right-hander. Noah Cassie into this game now after the injury to Dylan Moss. Shifting around the infield, the first baseman Churchill went to the catcher spot, and that brought Cassie off the bench to get this at-bat here in the 6th. Cassie takes a strike, now 1-1. The Texas A&M Corpus Christi first baseman / outfielder. Foul ball from Cassie for strike 2. Westendorp last appeared a week ago against the Walla Walla Sweets. Tossed in a scoreless frame and an 8-5 loss for the NorthPaws. Cassie taking ball 2 at the dish with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kamloops leading 4-2 over the Bellingham Bells in the series finale. Bells have won the first 2. 2-2 to Cassie. Chopper left side foul. Right in the third base coach's box. Two into Cassie with 1 out. Strike 3 called, and he goes down looking for the 2nd out in the 6th.
Next up for your Bells, number 2, Aspen Alexander.
Aspen Alexander now up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Alexander is 1 of 2 with a single and a strikeout. Westendorp's pitch as he looks for a 1-2-3 shutdown 6th inning to get the NorthPaws bats back up after 2 runs in the top of the frame to take a 4-2 lead. He gets strike 1 on Aspen Alexander. No 1 hit back foul from Alexander, strike 2. Oh, 2 hit on the right side of the infield for Huang. Backed up on it, and it ate him up at second base. Bounced off of the chest on an awkward hop, and it ends up in right field for an error. NorthPaws' first defensive error in this game. The Bells' lone error in the ballgame costed them an early run in the 1st inning. See if the Bells can take advantage of the E4 as KG Hattori comes to the plate with a pair of flyouts to left and center field. Hattori takes the first pitch for a strike as the shortstop looks for his first knock of the game. Runner going in the 0-1, and Alexander will go back to first base after the foul ball from Hattori. That gets him down the count 0-2. Hattori viewed as a top 500 national recruit for the 2026 high school class. He's headed to Cal Poly. Oh, 2 to him. High and away for ball 1. Was named to the 2025 Perfect Game preseason All-American second team in the California region. Pickoff throw to first where Alexander dives back head first. And a high throw had no tag applied to Alexander. So the Bells base runner still there. Tying run at the plate in a 2-run ball game. NorthPaws lead at 4-2 over Bellingham, bottom 6. Ball and 2 strikes on Hattori with 2 outs. Spoils a foul ball that slices towards the NorthPaws dugout and lands in their bullpen. 1-2 pickoff throw. Hattori back in the lefty batter's box and a 1-2 count. Another late swing, another foul ball. This time it gets out to the grass hill where dads and kids scramble for the loose baseball. Westendorp set for another 1-2 pitch, trying to put away Hattori. This just a weak chopper to the shortstop Sedekassi, who takes the force out at second himself to finish off a scoreless 6. Still 4-2 the lead for the Kamloops NorthPaws as we head into the 7th inning at Joe Martin Field.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value,
a higher quality of life with better appliances,
and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells.
This is Cal Young. You're listening to Bells Radio, home of the 2025 West Coast League champions. Go Bells.
7th inning, and the Bells have a new arm on the mound. It is Cal Young, a returner for Bellingham from last year's championship squad, a returner in his career for the 4th time pitching with Bellingham. He's been a constant as the lefty starts things off. Decker attacks him and lines one out into right field. As Decker will get a base knock to start off the 7th inning. An early attack on Cal Young for a leadoff double. Cal Young made one appearance in 2023 for the Bells. He was a West Coast League All-Star in 2024 with Bellingham. And then last year, member of the championship staff, as well as being all West Coast League honorable mention. Camden Sanders, top of the order, is one of 3 strikeout, single, and a flyout for him. Leadoff double from Decker. And now Sanders trying to add to a 4-2 Kamloops lead. Bunt to the third base side, fielded by Nate Johnson. His throw to Cassie in time for the first out and a sacrifice.
Next up for Kamloops, number 16, Evan Dugdale.
So Decker moves up to third base, and now a sacrifice fly away from adding to the 4-2 two-run lead for the NorthPaws, who are trying to hold off the Bells from a sweep, trying to snap a 6-game winning streak for Bellingham, and they're looking in good position to do that. Dugdale's now up. He's already got 2 hits in the game, facing Cal Young for the first time. Strike in there from Young. On the summer, Cal Young, 6 1/3 innings pitched in 5 appearances. He made 1 start, but coming out of here for the bullpen for the 5th time in the summer. Dugdale with a low ball 1. Young has allowed 10 hits and 4 walks on the year for 7 runs, 4 of those earned. Maths out to a 5.68 ERA with a 2.21 whip. Lefty has struck out 6. Young missing on the outside for ball 2. His last appearance came June 17th against the Port Angeles Lefties in a 10-7 win. Cal Young had a scoreless inning where he struck out 1 batter and gave up 2 hits. (3-1). On the ground to Hayes. Second baseman checks back the runner, and then an easy toss to Cassie to nab the second out. Now Young and the Bells an out away from keeping it a 2-run ball game despite the runner on third after the leadoff double. Young has had 3 really good outings with Bellingham of the 5. It's just been the 4 earned runs tagged against him in those 2 other appearances. One of those was start at Kelowna, and then the other time on the road, or excuse me, at home against Nanaimo for just an inning where he gave up 4 runs, but only 1 was earned. This one will be earned as it's lined on a 1-hopper to left field from Cade Crawford. And the NorthPaws pull ahead 5-2. On a 2-out RBI knock from Crawford, his first hit of the game, and it's the 8th for Kamloops, the most of this series. It's coming on the getaway game as the NorthPaws try to avoid this sweep. Right now they lead by 3 over Bellingham. Two-out pickoff throw to first, where Cade Crawford is safely back. Tate Martin working on a double his last time in the 6th. Scored a run and drove in 1. Young missing on his first pitch to Martin, ball 1. Swinging a chopping bouncer, the Hayes second baseman will have the 3rd out, but 1 more run in for the NorthPaws, and the lead is 5-2 as we stretch in Bellingham.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-2 ball game. The Kamloops NorthPaws looking to hold off a Bellingham Bells sweep, and right now they lead by 3 after another run coming in the 7th inning for Kamloops. It's the bottom of the order for Bellingham coming up in the frame. Rashad Hayes, the second baseman, is 1 of 2 with a single and a steal. 9-1-2 hitters due up against Nick Westendorp, out for his second inning of relief after pitching a scoreless 6th. The only blemish, a defensive error. He stranded that runner. Got the inside of Hayes' bat, and then the third baseman, Decker, bobbles it, and Hayes is safe to start the 7th. It'll be an E5 on Decker. Second error in the ball game. And maybe exactly what the Bells needed to get this rally started, trying to come back down 3. Something both teams have done phenomenally has been limit the walks. No walks from the Bells pitching staff in the ball game. None by the 2 pitchers for Kamloops so far in this game. It's been 14 hits between the 2 squads, 3 errors, and 3 hit batters. Check that, 2 hit batters as the base runners. Hayes already with a steal. They threw over to first to keep him honest. Jaden Jackson at the plate with 1 strike. Jackson lines it out to right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Right up against the 350 sign. Hayes being waved home as the relay comes in from the NorthPaws. The throw to the plate is late. No tag applied. And Jackson has an RBI double to cut the lead back down to 2 for Kamloops. Jaden Jackson comes through with his second hit of the game. And Jake Lyle looking for his first as the tying run for Bellingham. Hayes goes first to home on the double from Jackson. And the error immediately burning these NorthPaws. Westendorp will surrender the unearned run. Lyle, a big swing out to left, but gloved by Sanders on a sprint back towards the wall. And he grabs the first out, taking away the solid contact from Lyle. Nate Johnson will come up then now instead as the tying run. Lefty hitting third baseman. The Bells down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 the lead for the visitors. Johnson on the ground. Gets past the dive of Huang at second base. Jackson coming in to score, and Nate Johnson has made it a 5-4 ball game on his RBI single. Matt Churchill represents the go-ahead run now in the bottom of the 7th as 2 quick runs have scored with only 1 out in the inning. Tying run at first and Nate Johnson, the third baseman. As Johnson picks up his first hit of the game, driving in the RBI that scored Jackson. First run scored for Jaden Jackson in the ball game. Churchill taking a low strike here against Nick Westendorp, who had a scoreless 6th. Now surrendered 2 runs in the 7th, but still holding on to a 1-run lead. Low to Churchill for ball 1. Single in the 4th for Churchill as part of a 1 of 3 day for him. Started the day at first base, but now catching after the injury to Dylan Moss. 1-1 strike to Churchill. Now ball and 2 strikes on him. Sprayed to shallow right field and playable for Logan Booth, who has the second out, retiring Churchill.
Next up for your Bells, number 13, Bryce Johnson.
It's now Bryce Johnson coming up. He's gone 1 of 3, or check that, 1 of 2 in this game. Laid down a sac bunt that scored a run in the 4th, so he's got 1 RBI. Trying to flip this scoreboard in a 5-4 lead for the NorthPaws. Bells have gotten 2 across in the inning. Johnson takes the inside, ball 2. That one called a strike on Johnson, so now 2-1. Two and one with 2 outs. Tying run at first and Nate Johnson. Bryce Johnson at the plate. Popped him up. Second baseman Huang just barely onto the outfield grass. Has the 3rd out, but the Bells get 2 runs in the 7th, and it's now 5-4. Bellingham trailing by 1 as we go into the final 2 innings here on this Sunday afternoon.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store, where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Eighth inning and just a 1-run ball game between the Kamloops NorthPaws and the Bellingham Bells. Cal Young, 1 inning of relief. He is relieved by Aiden Collin here in the 8th. Cal Young gives up 1 run in the 7th, allowing 2 hits, no walks, and picking up no strikeouts. Collin pitching for the 2nd time in this series. Don't see that all too often in the West Coast League with these guys usually on pretty big inning limits or pitch counts, but Collin pitched a scoreless 9th inning in the 8-3 win on Friday. He went 1-2-3 against Dugdale, Granger, and Martin, forcing 3 flyouts to cap the win. Now he'll face Booth, Huang, and Drinkle in the 8th inning. Logan Booth at the plate taking the first pitch for a strike. Booth, the right fielder, has gone 0 of 3 in this game. Batting from the left side against the right-handed pitcher, Aiden Collin. Swing and a miss from him for strike 2. Struck out in his first at-bat of the day, flew out, and grounded out to first since. No balls and 2 strikes. Collins' pitch is wide for ball 1. And Colin out of Cal State San Bernardino. Long list of pitchers that were Coyotes turned Bells for the summer. Last season, Carter Herrera and Devin Hernandez pitchers. Big parts of the West Coast League Championship squad. And they say that Booth goes around on his check swing. He can't believe it, but it's a strikeout. And Colin has his first punch out to start the 8th. Just 12 2/3 innings pitched for Colin this collegiate year. 2 times as a starter, 9 as a reliever. Had an 11.37 ERA collegiately. It was his first year at Cal State San Bernardino after playing for Santa Ana College, which is a JUCO, in 2025. He had began his collegiate career at the D1 school, Cal State Northridge. Strike 1 into Ian Huang with 1 out. The second baseman bats after an RBI single his last time through. He knocked in a run in the 6th inning. NorthPaws lead at 5-4 over Bellingham in the 8th with 1 out. Strike 2 from Colin as he dots the zone. Colin back in the WCL after being a Port Angeles lefty last year. He was dominant in the WCL. 14 innings pitched with a 2.57 ERA. Now his 0-2. Spoiled by Huang foul. Huang 2 strikeouts before his single back in the 6th. Colin has already put away his first batter via strikeout with the help of the check swing. This one he frames in there for strike 3 and gets a backwards K. So 2 straight strikeouts for Aiden Colin to start the 8th inning. Keegan Drinkle, the catcher, up. He's 0 of 3. Searching for his hit. Fly out, ground out. Strikeout for him. Two out foul tip from him. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away by Drinkle. No balls and 2 strikes. Colin looking for a shutdown 8th inning. He's struck out 2 already. Wide for ball 1 to Drinkle. After scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, Bellingham trying to get those bats back up to try and tie this game or take the lead in the 8th or 9th innings. Colin trying to help them there. He's struck out 2 already, and now in a 1-2 count, he gets another one. 3 straight strikeouts for Aiden Colin, and a 5-4 lead for Bellingham as we go bottom 8, or a 5-4 lead for Kamloops as we go bottom 8 here at Joe Martin Field.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Mar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapist and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. NorthPaws with a new pitcher as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning, and he's got the task ahead of him. 5-4, the NorthPaws leading Bellingham, but now Chase Demler takes over. Demler, a UT Tyler right-hander here for the 4th time in the summer, pitching for the NorthPaws. And he's looking to get back on track after allowing 6 runs through his first 3 in the 3rd innings. He's given up 4 of those that have been earned on 3 hits, a walk, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 wild pitches. An ERA north of 10 as he enters in a 1-run ball game facing Noah Cassie. Bell's first baseman who takes strike 1, 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Demler as he relieves Nick Westendorp after 2 innings of relief from him. 1 strikeout for Westendorp. He allowed the 2 runs in the 7th, only 1 of them earned. Finished his complete outing with 2 hits and no walks surrendered. One Cassie on the ground to the shortstop, set of Cassie to his left. And a routine play made off hard ground contact from Cassie makes it the first out in the 8th. Bell's chasing 1 as Aspen Alexander is up. He's been on base twice, single and an error putting him on first, but he's been left there both times. Struck out in his other trip to the plate. Demler has been locked down for his last 2 times out of the NorthPaws bullpen. He's working on 3 straight scoreless innings. After only gaining 1 out against the Corvallis Knights on May 31st, where he gave up all of those 6 runs. Since that moment, though, hasn't allowed a hit, hasn't allowed a base runner in the last 2 appearances for him. Demler 2 scoreless innings against the Ridgefield Raptors on June 4th. Earned a win in the 9-7 victory for Kamloops. Scoreless inning against Walla Walla on the 13th and a 1-0 win for Kamloops. High leverage arm going here for the NorthPaws, trying to shut down Bellingham. So far 1 down in the 8th, but a 3-0 count against Aspen Alexander, who is searching for the game's first walk. Neither side has surrendered a free pass in this ball game. 3-0 count against Aspen Alexander. .30 fastball at 89 gets the zone for strike 1 from Demler. Three and 1 home. Alexander gets it on a couple hops past the diving Decker at third and out into left field. The tying run reaches base with 1 out in the 8th inning for Bellingham. Keiji Hattori represents the go-ahead run for Bellingham, trailing 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. Hattori looking for his first hit. He's 0 of 3. First pitch a miss to Hattori. Demler 1 save on the summer, 1 win and 1 loss. Inside to Hattori, ball 2. The right-hander's one-out pitch to Hattori. Hit on the ground, gloved by the first baseman, Martin. Heck of a play, but the throw is offline to second base. 2 on after the fielder's choice from Hattori. Tying and go-ahead runs on base for Bellingham. They'll toss an error on the scoreboard against the first baseman. Martin did a great job even getting to that ball. It's the third error for Kamloops. It was Rashad Hayes, the second baseman, up. 2 on in a one-run ball game. Bellingham trailing 5-4. Hayes takes a breaking pitch inside for strike 1. The second baseman today has been on base twice. Singled in the third, reached on an error, and scored in the 7th. Top of the order, Jaden Jackson on deck. Hayes can get it to him. First play at all the bags of the infield. Hayes down in the count, 0-2. After a couple of breaking pitches from Chase Demler to get him ahead after surrendering a single and an error. Put 2 runners on. Hayes foul tips that one, but into the glove of the catcher, Drinkle. That'll be a strikeout on the foul tip. Thought maybe it could have hit the ground, but it looks like Drinkle got it before it did. Jaden Jackson will have to deliver the hit that the Bells need with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 runners on at first and second for Bellingham. They trail by 1. In danger of stranding 2 base runners after the gift of an error. Jackson back-to-back hits in his last 2 trips to the plate. He's 2 for 4. Drove in a run with his double in the 7th. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. Went on to score a run in that 7th inning as part of a 2-run frame for the Bells. Now he could tie the game or give Bellingham the lead in the 8th. Strike 1 dropped in there on that off-speed pitch that Demler has found a home for. The last couple of batters, he's been laying that down there. Jackson sees it for a strike, so 1 ball and a strike. 2 outs and runners on first and second for Bellingham. Demler gets onto the first base side of the rubber, looks in at his catcher Drinkle. The number 36 right-hander set for a pitch. Jackson takes the breaking pitch this time away from the zone for ball 2. Two 2-1 home to Jackson. This time it's grounded up the middle for a base knock. Alexander making the turn for home. He'll be in standing for the tying run. Now the throw gets away and Jackson heads up to second base. It's a game-tying RBI single for Jaden Jackson, and it's now 5-5 even in the 8th inning. And although it hasn't been the case tonight, Jake Lyle may be the guy you want here with a chance to take the lead. Jake Lyle's 0 of 4, but was swinging a hot stick at Port Angeles. 4 hits in this series entering the game today, now looking to give the Bells the lead. There was also an error on the play by the center fielder, Dugdale, that allowed Jackson to move up to second base. 2 outs, the pitch to Lyle, strike 1. Hattori is the go-ahead run at third base after the tying RBI knock from Jaden Jackson, who's at second. Unearned run charge to Chase Demler. Lyle puts it through into left field, and Bellingham takes a 6-5 lead. A rally in the 8th to pull ahead, and Bellingham 4 runs across the last 2 innings to pull in front of these NorthPaws. Lyle delivering his first hit of the ball game in the biggest moment as Hattori scores to make it 6-5 Bells, leading the NorthPaws. Runners on the corners for Nate Johnson, now 3 hits in the inning. Johnson's first pitch in there for a strike. He drove in a run with an RBI single in the 7th as part of this comeback push for Bellingham that sees them now have their first lead of the game. Johnson the other way out to left. Sanders there. Makes the catch on the run for the 3rd out. Bellingham gets 2 runs in the 8th, though, and they now hold a 6-5 lead, looking to close out a victory as they'll go to the bullpen trying to close out the sweep here at Joe Martin Field.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Bells looking to close out what could be a sweeping win over the NorthPaws in comeback fashion. 2 runs in the 8th inning give Bellingham a 6-5 lead, and they go to their closer, Frank Willius. The left-handed pitcher out of Gonzaga has been lights out for Bellingham so far this summer. 4 appearances for Willius out of the pen and 3 saves for the lefty through 4 innings that he's pitched. He's yet to give up a hit or a run. Just 2 walks as the blemishes for the lefty, with 10 strikeouts. One of the league leaders in whiff rates. After a strikeout of the side from Aiden Collin in the 8th, he finishes that 1 scoreless inning. Bells have 11 Ks as a pitching staff in this game. Now Willius looking for 3 key outs to give the Bells a sweep over the NorthPaws. Sedekassi leads it off and swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. 94 from Willius. Just 3 2/3 innings pitched for him at Gonzaga this year. Came after a start of his career at California Lutheran. 0-1 misses low on the high gas. Still at 94. Willius surrendered 6 earned runs on 4 hits for Gonzaga. His struggle was his 9 walks in his 4 appearances. 1-1. All over that one on an early swing from Sedekassi, but it is a foul ball. And just strike 2. Sedekassi is 1 for 3 in this game as he swings and misses. Willius has a strikeout to start his 9th inning. I mean, this is the guy you want to close the door. He's been untouchable so far in his WCL career. That's his 11th career strikeout. His 5th appearance as a Bell. Dylan Decker at the dish, taking ball 1 high from Willius. (1-0) foul ball for a strike. Lefty on lefty matchup here in the 9th inning. 6-5 the lead for the Bells. Inside nearly got Decker. Decker is the tying run. All the NorthPaws batters will be here in this 9th inning as Willius tries to close the door on a sweep. Tries to close the door on a 7-game win streak for Bellingham. 2-1. Decker takes strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes on the NorthPaws third baseman. 4 straight strikeouts between Aiden Collin and now Frank Willius. The 2-2. Broke his bat up the middle. Soft roller. Hayes will have to try barehanded and can't do it. Decker has an infield single. It's the first hit that Willius surrenders as a Bellingham Bell, and it was a broken bat single from Decker. So the NorthPaws with some luck on their side in the 9th inning with 1 out. Into the top of the order in Camden Sanders. Sanders 1 for 3 in the ball game. First pitch fouled back for strike 1. Pitch just away from Willius for ball 1. Second time for him pitching at home through a scoreless frame and a 2-0 win against the Nanaimo Night Owls as Sanders offers at strike 2. Below the zone, went chasing. Ball and 2 strikes on the NorthPaws leadoff man. Bells lead this game 6-5 with the go-ahead run at the plate for the NorthPaws. Tying run at first. Bounced in the dirt, but Churchill did a good job to block it. So Decker, who is the tying run, is still at first base. Two balls and 2 strikes on Sanders. Willius the lefty home. Missed high in a full count. Action pitch coming in a 3-2 count with 1 down. Home to Sanders. Takes it inside, called strike 3. Willius has his second strikeout in the frame and is an out away from closing down this victory for Bellingham. A victory that didn't seem like it could be won at the first. 2-0 lead for the NorthPaws after Bellingham tied it in the 4th inning with 2 runs of their own. The NorthPaws went up 4-2 with 2 runs in the 6th. Then tacked on another run in the 7th. Bells were down 5-2, but have scored the last 4 runs to take a 6-5 lead as Evan Dugdale, the last chance for the NorthPaws. Runner on first is the tying run for Kamloops. Dugdale hits it in play. Hattori, the shortstop, takes it to his own bag at second and finishes off 7 straight for the Bells. Willius, 4 saves and 5 appearances for Bellingham, and he continues to be the closer in the West Coast League. Absolute dominance from the Gonzaga lefty. And that caps a series sweep of the Kamloops NorthPaws. It's 7 in a row for Bellingham as they continue to roll on. 1 against Portland, 3 against Port Angeles, 3 against the Kamloops NorthPaws. And it's a win on Father's Day for the Bellingham Bells. They improve to 15-6. They keep rolling on. The NorthPaws dropped these 3 straight games to fall to 7-11. And it's a 6-5 comeback win for Bellingham to take it here in the series finale. We'll go into the stats from today's game when we come back here on the Bells post-game show. But it's a 6-5 win at Joe Martin Field. We thank you for joining us tonight. I was Zen Hill. Stick around to hear all the stats from today's game. We'll see everyone, if you're tuning out, on Tuesday. 6:35 will be the start time of the Port Angeles Lefties series. What a win.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
So back in Bellingham after a 6-5 win for the Bells to take a sweep over the Kamloops NorthPaws as the Bells just continue to roll on. 7 wins in a row. Now today it ends the streak of 8 or more runs in the last 6 wins, but we can now say 6 or more runs in the last 7 wins. Bellingham comes back to win it 6-4, down 5-2 entering the bottom of the 7th, score 4 unanswered runs to take the victory. Aiden Collins strikes out the side in the 8th, and he earns his first win of the season as a Bellingham Bell. Frank Williams comes in for the 9th, shuts things down with his 4th save of the summer, and Bellingham takes a 6-5 win on Father's Day. Let's look at the individual stats first for the visiting Kamloops NorthPaws, who the Bellingham Bells will not see until July 17th when they travel up to Norbrock Stadium to take on the NorthPaws in a weekend series up in British Columbia. For the NorthPaws on offense, they had a total of 9 hits in this game. One of those from Camden Sanders. He scored a run. Evan Dugdale was 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Cade Crawford went 1 of 3, scoring and driving in a run. Tate Martin 1 of 4 with a double, a run driven in, and a run scored himself. Ian Huang was 1 of 4 at the plate with an RBI. Anthony Sedekassi had a hit in 4 plate appearances. Dylan Decker went 2 for 4 at the plate in the bottom of the order, picking up a double and a run scored. 4 errors on the NorthPaws defense go down to burn them because the 2 runs that were the winning runs for the Bells in the 8th inning were both scored on errors, well, with the help of an error, because the E3 committed by Tate Martin would have been the second out in the 8th before the strikeout to Hayes that would have ended the frame. So when Jackson tied the game on his RBI hit, it went down as an unearned run. And then when Jake Lyle gave the Bells the lead, he was an unearned run, driving in the unearned run, Keiji Hattori. Looking at the Bells' individual stats, Jaden Jackson, your player of the game, went 3 of 5 at the plate, 2 runs driven in, including that tying RBI knock. He had a double and a run scored. The Bells overall had 11 hits as Jake Lyle picked up that go-ahead RBI of a 1 of 4 day. Nate Johnson 1 for 4 with a run scored and a run driven in. Matt Churchill 1 of 4 at the plate with a run scored. Bryce Johnson knocked in 1 with his lone hit. Dylan Moss 1 of 2 before exiting the game. He had an RBI. Noah Cassie behind him entered and did not pick up a base knock. Aspen Alexander was 2 for 4 as the center fielder scored once, and Rashad Hayes had 1 hit in 4 at-bats with a run scored as well. An impressive thing today, no walks issued by either pitching staff. The losing pitcher, Chase Demler, his second loss of the season, now 1-2 after his 8th inning that he pitched, giving up the 3 hits and the 2 unearned runs with just 1 strikeout. Bells at the plate only struck out 5 times. Meanwhile, it was a total of 13 Ks by the Bells pitching staff against the NorthPaws to take the sweeping victory. And the Bells now 15-6. As let's take a look at the West Coast League scoreboard for this Father's Day. Final out in Ridgefield, the Raptors beat the Walla Walla Sweets 6-4. That looks like our only final, and then just one other game actually going on right now. Out in Port Angeles, the Lefties trail the Victoria Harbor Cats 15-5. Portland and Springfield actually just started their game as the Pickles and Drifters scoreless in the first. And then a couple of 5:05 start times out in Bend. The Falcons and the Elks head-to-head out there. Also the Marion Berries and Yakima Valley Pippins going head-to-head. And then at 5:05, Corvallis and Edmonton in their series finale down in Oregon. And then at 5:35, a game worth watching if you're a Bells fan, the Wenatchee Apple Sox hosting the Nanaimo Night Owls, because right now the Bells are chasing one game behind the Wenatchee Apple Sox as they try and take the North Division Championship to earn that auto playoff berth through the first 27 games of the season, or your first 9 series. It's determined if you win the first half, you'll get an auto playoff berth. And right now, Wenatchee in the driver's seat. Bells have to make up 2 games on them. But a sweep here surely is a step in the right direction. And then hosting the Port Angeles Lefties Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a team that the Bells swept just last week, is a promising sign for the close of this first half. The next time we'll see you is Tuesday at 6:35 here at the ballpark. You can get half-off tickets if you buy them online. Check out the Bells promotional schedule to learn more details about that. Every Tuesday ball game is a fun one. There's discounts on food, beer, tickets. What more could you want? We'll see everyone then on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on this Father's Day. Wish your dad a happy Father's Day. And good that we could get all you Bells dads a win. 6-5 the win. A comeback victory for Bellingham as they take it for a sweep over the Kamloops NorthPaws. We'll see everyone on Tuesday as the Bells look to extend their 7-game winning streak. Have a good rest of your evening, and go Bells.